JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is known for having chock full of little details, and this battle is no exception to that. I've mentioned this before, editing can make or break a scene and is often the most crucial part of any film or TV production. Kiyoshi Hirose is a series editor along with Nakutsu Suda, who is the director of the JoJo Bizarre Adventure franchise. Let's have a look at how Josuke vs Okuyasu's battle shows us how good composition, editing, choreography, and color can complement one another. The difference between an average shot and a great shot is the way you frame it. The rule of thirds is used as a guideline when it comes to composing your shots. I explained the rule of thirds in more detail in this video, link below. Our eyes will naturally look at Josuke, his hair, and then Koji. If you fully understand how the rule of thirds works, you can compose shots that look natural and interesting. I want you to look at the scene closely and see if you can spot where the cut happens. It happens right here. Since the scene is so fast paced, your eyes don't have time to register the cut. This is known as the invisible cut. Birdman by Alejandro G. Inarritu uses this technique quite frequently. A cut can be quite jarring, which distracts the viewer from the experience, especially in a fight scene like this. So an invisible cut is used to seamlessly cut from one scene to another. Eyes in today's anime, more specifically in the shoujo genre, are usually exaggerated but more detailed, allowing the viewer a visual indication of what the character is going through. In this scene, Josuke is surprised by the green aura around the hand. Later, we see Crazy Diamond's eyes widen in shock, indicating that he did not expect that to happen. And even though Okuyasu's eyes are very simple in design, much like his character, they still convey his anger quite well. What really sells the scene for me is the fact that Crazy Diamond has to use both of his hands as opposed to one to stop Okuyasu from reaching to him and is still struggling to keep him at bay. The scene chose to pan downward instead of a cut to keep the scene coherent, then it abruptly cuts to the result, which is Josuke coughing blood, indicating that it did quite a number on him. JoJo chooses to showcase its dialogue in manga format, and even the sound effects from the manga are in the show. It adds more visual element to the screen without it being too distracting and jarring. Did you catch that? Watch it again. Maybe third time's a charm. The beauty of the scene is that it's so fast paced that the transitions are coherent. The hand's attack was used to wipe the frame, and these transitions usually have a name, but I like to call them the natural transitions since the object in the frame is actually doing the transition. I love the way this frame is composed. Our eyes first see Josuke, the hand, and then Okuyasu. Some might see Crazy Diamond before Josuke, but that's fine, everyone's eyes are a little different. My biggest gripe, however, with this scene is that Josuke was in the middle of the frame a few seconds ago and now he's at the corner of the frame. It's very minor stuff, but it still kind of irks me. It's kind of like he just teleported. And as Josuke was dodging Okuyasu's attack, they used a sand that he created as a way to transition the screen. I've been saying this quite a lot, it's kind of a recurring theme. Everything in this battle is very subtle, the things I'm pointing out, but it's just kind of the things that I really love. It's just, you don't really get to see it unless you're looking for it or analyzing, and that's really the beauty of this battle and basically most of JoJo's battles actually. Usually when there's an object in the foreground, it usually plays a role later on, in this case a flower pot at the ledge. A frame is a playground, and JoJo really showcases this quite well with the weird effects and manga dialogue scenes. It has no real purpose or significance, but it just sure is fun to see. Not everything has to be bare bones, technical and boring and just by the book. Notice how Okuyasu's panel was significantly bigger than Josuke's, showing that he's currently the one who's winning this fight. Then we see the sign that the hand scraped away. A white shot is used to show us what letter from the sign was missing, along with another sign that has the same letter, no trespassing, with once again the flower pot. As Okuyasu walks forward, Josuke walks backwards until he reaches the wall. Trapped and unable to do anything, a beer can close to him, until he realizes how his enemy stand works. Then he explains it to the audience in a close-up shot, the most powerful and impactful shot a filmmaker can use, and it can only be used a few times until the effect really wears off. It allows the audience to really feel the scene and hence know the information. Another example of how powerful a close-up shot is when Okuyasu said he doesn't know where the scraped parts go, making the scene more intimidating. And as Josuke walks to the left, Okuyasu uses the hand to scrape the space between him and Josuke. The beer can, clearly a knockoff Budweiser, starts to move towards Okuyasu to demonstrate his ability and is also used to transition the scene. When Josuke is moved near Okuyasu, the music stops, making that moment dramatic even if it lasted for 1 second. A low angle shot is used when Okuyasu is looking down on Josuke since he assumes he's weak and pathetic. Josuke keeps walking to the left and we find out why when Okuyasu scrapes the space between them. The flower pots we've been seeing since the beginning get teleported as well. The purple palette switch happened when Okuyasu revealed his stand ability, causing Josuke to plan his opponent's demise. After all, purple is Josuke's color, not Okuyasu's. The music changed to one of Josuke's themes when the flower pot were being teleported since his plan worked. The pots wiped the screen, causing a screen transition, and if you freeze from everything, you can see Okuyasu's reaction in excruciating detail. When the second part hit him, we can see pieces of the leaves come off, and by the time the third part hit him, we can see the dirt of both pots start to slowly come out. A wide angle is used and you can see one of the pots with dirt on the floor. However, if you look at where Kochi is, you can see him getting slowly dragged away. Now that is detail. Honestly, this level of detail and choreography doesn't need to be done, but it's really amazing and just shows you how much work and effort the staff at DiU Production has to put into their shows.